Thanks for joining us on another beautiful day here in the Great Basin. Lori Gilbert hosting your weekday show with our wonderful guest today we're so pleased to have from the Northeastern Nevada Museum. We have our museum director, Lauren Roovart, joins us here.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lauren. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing Diet Mawson today, our education coordinator. She is a chief in charge of fun at the museum. I think that's fair to say. So,
thanks.
Yeah, great to see both of you beautiful people and talking about one of our greatest treasures right here in Elko, something that was founded by our community, is maintained by our community. And it's great to have that sort of independence of our local museum, isn't it, Lauren?
It is, and we're so grateful.
Yeah, so it is what we make of it, and that's why we want to encourage people to shop there this holiday season, to visit often, to renew your membership or get a membership for the first time, the Historical Society, and then also to encourage friends and family near and far to do the same, because it all goes to support our museum. So I thought we could talk about what's going on at the museum, upcoming events, parties, and happenings. You've got some fantastic exhibits, Lauren, and then we'll kind of wrap it up today with some Nevada Day history, since we have such a unique place in history.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, 25% off everything in the museum store this November 22nd through 30th. So come and shop for the holidays at the store.
You have such beautiful artwork, you have all kinds of jewelry, lots of books, and you have games and toys.
That's right, and a lot of local artists and artisans in the museum store.
And yet, you have some amazing T-shirts and things there, too.
We do. And actually, all of our T-shirts are designed in-house.
Nice.
Lauren does all the designs on our T-shirts.
Oh.
Thanks for calling me out,
Well,
Dina.
no wonder
Sorry.
they're so beautiful and unique. We appreciate that. You're putting those credentials to work for us, so thank you. Yes.
We just know people want Elko merch, so
They
come
do.
on down to the museum.
Yeah.
Yep, those make wonderful gifts. Again, and every time you shop locally, you're supporting a little local child playing basketball or soliciting donations or trick or treat. There's just so many things. I was talking to the chamber director about this. That's why we're really emphasizing, because that's how our economy circulates, our tax dollars circulate. You know, you're supporting your local schools, your streets, your firefighters. It's all part of that big happy family. So.
Yep.
All right. So there's some great holiday parties that are also coming up. If people haven't figured out, you can arrange to have an event at the museum if you can squeeze it in.
That's right. Just call us at the museum, and our front desk coordinators will get you set up to book your holiday party.
We have seating for 100 in our Hallett Gallery, and we have our theaters available for up to 90. So
Plenty of space.
It's perfect for those small office parties.
And it's versatile. And you've already got the built-in art.
Yes,
Yeah.
and when you book the museum, you get to explore the museum. The museum is open; it is yours. It is open to you to explore. You could even shop at that time if you wanted to.
Nice. You really go all out to accommodate those holiday parties. So if you're looking for a unique place to host a holiday event, check out the Northeastern Nevada Museum. The price is really reasonable. And speaking of reasonable, how about free, if not nearly free, our wonderful children's youth activities at the museum, Diet?
Yeah. So just going in order of date, you can mark November 8th down for second Saturday. And this month we will be kind of celebrating Native American Heritage Month by making dream catchers and talking about the legend of dream catchers. And then, so usually for second Saturday, it starts at 10 a.m. and it goes until noon. And the kids get some kind of story or lesson at the beginning. And then they go out into the gallery and they make a craft project. It's something to take home and remember the day from, and then they get to explore the museum as well.
How much fun is that? And are there age recommendations?
I usually say it's best for 3 to 10. Like that's the age range that it'll be most entertaining for. But at the same time, if your 16-year-old came with you, I'm not going to tell them that they can't make the activity.
Well, that
Like,
sounds
it's just-
great. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is free for kids and their families.
And that means the supplies are provided.
Yes.
Wow, Diet, that's great. And so thanks again to the museum for providing that opportunity, the second Saturday, to make a dream catcher this year and to bring your friends. I see a lot of families participating. They don't just drop off kids.
No, I actually don't let them just drop them off.
That's really smart, because
Parents
that's a lot
are required
of
to
kids.
stay, or they're required to be accompanied by an adult.
Yes.
But it makes it so that there's family interaction. It gives the parents and the kids an opportunity to just spend time together.
And that way the parents get to
Yeah.
make a craft too, or supervise it.
Yeah. And another fun activity that we do that also gives those families time to spend together is the Night at the Museum event. That we do it twice a year, and this year in November, on November 14th, we're going to be doing Goonies, and Goonies turned 40 this year. So
That's impossible.
yeah, I know, it's crazy to think about. So there have been, actually, I heard that they had big parties in Astoria and everything, and I was like, you know what, we need to have a party here for ours. So Sandy Beeler is going to help me, and we're going to have a pre-party
Oh, that's going to be so
before the
much
movie.
fun. Yes.
And do like trivia and dance parties and costumes and all kinds of things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The doors will open at 5:30 for that. The movie will start at 6. And then there's a flashlight scavenger hunt afterward. And that's on November 14th. And for that event, it is free for museum members. So if you buy that $35 family membership, it'll be free for your family to come. Or if you don't want to buy the membership, it's $5 a seat for non-members. And we do ask for an advance reservation for that, just because we only have 90 seats, and we don't want to have everybody showing up and be like, oh, sorry, our theater's full, you can't come in.
Right.
Our phone number for that is 775-738-3418. You can just call the museum, and they'll get you all signed up for it.
Well, the only question unanswered is, what Goonie will Sandy dress up as?
I know.
I
That's
know.
a really good question.
She's Sandy the superstar, just to get to hang out with Sandy and, of course, DeEtte, and celebrate the 40th anniversary. What fun is that going to be? Again, on November 14th. But parents, moms, dads, make your reservation now. Again, ages recommended, DeEtte?
The Goonies is rated PG.
Yeah.
And so I just say, if your kids can handle it and will sit through a movie, bring them.
Probably a 40-year-old movie that's PG
Yeah.
is pretty tame, probably by today's
Yeah.
standards. So, I mean, just saying, check that one out. But Night at the Museum is coming up on November 14th. Thank you, Dia. That's just fantastic. And then we'll switch back over to Lauren to talk about, these beautiful exhibits that you have right now in the Northeastern Nevada Museum. Our museum is famous for so many things: the Wanamaker Wildlife Collection, the beautiful art galleries upstairs and down, and of course our unique local history. But we also have contemporary artists, or even artists who have passed, but we are fortunate to enjoy their collections.
That's right, and we really try hard to support local artists and artists of the Great Basin. So right now we have Ron Artaud is in the Halleck Bar Gallery with his exhibition entitled In Passing, Elko Plein Air. So he went out into the Elko community and painted 35 or 40 paintings in the true Ron Artaud style. If you know Ron, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And they're all gorgeous and different than what he usually does. You usually see the Tuscarora scenes, and now you're seeing all the Elko scenes, and you know exactly where each picture is painted.
Highly
So, it's really neat.
recognizable. Yeah. In that plein air style, Lauren.
I know.
Yes.
He's the best. We appreciate him so much. And that'll be up until November 30th. And then upstairs in the Barrett Gallery, we have a Salt Lake City artist, Carol Nilsson, and her exhibition is called For Those Who Bear Witness. And it's on view until December 14th. And she sort of does mostly painting, mixed media.
Nice. So that'll be a chance to see art both upstairs, downstairs. Carol's work is until December 14th. And then, of course, Ron's on display through November 30th. Ron's work, by the way, is, for sale. So, but people, when you go, if you see something you like, you should speak up now.
Yes, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Great
Because-
gifts.
Yes, wonderful gifts, especially a chance to enjoy a local artist painting plein air, a local recognizable scene from our community. And because these exhibits are on display in the museum, it's nice to know that some of that goes toward the museum as well.
Oh, yeah, they're so generous and kind to us.
Yeah, so we can support future exhibits. Because we know, Lauren, like everybody else in the community, it may seem early, but we're getting ready for National Cowboy Poetry Gathering.
I know.
Right?
Crazy.
Yeah, it is
This
crazy.
year went by so fast.
It went by so fast. And there are some amazing ongoing displays. The Will James collection at the museum.
Will James, Edward Bureen, Edward Weston.
Yeah, people come from everywhere to see those.
I know. They love it. Ansel
Yeah.
Adams.
Yes, we have incredible artwork on display. And of course, that features local artists. Our local artists from Elko's local art gallery are also on display. The school district has art shows. Well, they are featured at times,
That's
a couple
right.
times during the year.
Yep, in the early spring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. So artists, stay busy because you never know. Your painting, your piece could be featured at the Northeastern Nevada Museum. So those are some of the ongoing upcoming events. And with our guest today, Lauren Roovart, who is our museum director, and DeEtte Mawson, who is our education coordinator, we wanted to make sure, before we start talking about Nevada Day history, I was going to let you talk, DeEtte, about the fact is that the museum does a lot of outreach, right? You have resources for teachers and schools. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got school field trips, and I can book them now. Like, they can call me and book now. And actually, we book school field trips on a first come, first served basis. And the teachers get to choose the program that they want to do. I have a program on the Pony Express, the Transcontinental Railroad, Silver the Bald Eagle, the Mastodon, Native American Baskets, and Pioneer Life. I think that's all of them.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And so they can choose anything that fits in with what their curriculum is right now. And then they come in, they get a presentation or 30-minute program. They get a craft project that is designed for the kids to take it home and continue the conversation with their families. And then they get to explore the museum afterward.
Wow, that's a great incentive.
So it's pretty all-encompassing. And it's kind of awesome also, if you can't get a bus to come to me, I can come to you.
Oh, you can come to the classroom.
I can go into a classroom. The only difference between the classroom and in the museum field trip is that they won't get to explore the museum that way.
But they'll get a personal invitation to come back and explore the museum.
Absolutely.
And to bring family. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because, Lauren, the reality is the museum membership is so valuable and relatively inexpensive when you consider.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's so important to us because it helps us keep going. Individual memberships are $25 per year, so that's for one person. But our family membership is the most popular, $35, nothing. For you to bring as many family members as you want, as many times as you want, all year long. And then we go up a little bit from there. But it's just a really fun way to keep kids entertained, to bring family or friends from out of town to do something really fun and get a sense of what our community is about. So memberships are really great, and they support the museum. And we also have memorial plaques that you can memorialize somebody that you would like, and we hang them on our walls in the museum, and that's just a special way to be nice to someone you love.
That's right, to remember their contributions to the community or perhaps the museum. And again, these donations and memorials, there are various levels. You can find them all listed on the Northeastern Nevada Museum's website. I think, is it Museum Elko?
www.museumelko.org. You got it.
That's it. And there are membership packages describing the benefits of membership, making outright donations, because people can contribute to local collections. But the fact is, it's nice to be able to talk to the museum director about what you have, if it can be curated, because you really like to take things that can be displayed.
Sure, and things that are very specific to Northeastern Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And something with those memorial donations too is that if somebody were to pass away and you wanted to remember them, you could send a contribution in, just like $10 into the museum in memory of that person, and they will then have a page in our our list of memorials. And that $10 would then go back into the museum in that person's name.
I've seen that in the Museum Quarterly, which is another benefit of museum membership. This latest quarterly, I understand it's the first of 2 installments, and it needed to be because of the contributions of Sarah Sweetwater, the late Sarah Sweetwater, and her incredible influence on local art in the community for decades. And that was the topic for the Museum Quarterly.
Yeah, that
Lauren.
was a really fun one. Toni Milano is the author of that, and she'll be coming out with the next installment here very soon. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, very nice. It's a wonderful way to chronicle someone's life and history. And if you have quarterly contributions, suggestions, and that's the other thing, too, I wanted to make sure we mention in this half an hour is that the photographs, the archive materials, the things that we see, love that you're sharing those in the Elko Daily Free Press and then social media.
Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We see so many people have interest in our rewrite, which is, we go back 25, 50, 100 years in Elko Daily Free Press and pick out interesting stories. And generally we can find some pictures that have something to do with that story. And then we post it on Facebook. We send it to Elko Daily Free Press. And we get so many comments and so much interest. They're super fun. We love it.
And it can really inspire people. Maybe they've even moved away, but they long for those memories and that connection. And this is what the museum has been able to provide. And the other great thing is that the archive is available to the community and to researchers all over the world.
That's right. And we do our best to help you. It's just really nice if you give us a call or email Ella at archives@museumelko.org, and she can help you find what you need the best she can.
And Ella is doing such a good job because...
So grateful for Ella. She rocks.
Doesn't she, though? And she's a historian for Carlin as well. So, don't hesitate. Maybe it's a town that doesn't even exist anymore, or you are from the community of Carlin or anywhere within this region. And if you find a box of stuff, right?
Yep. Cards,
letters, papers, photographs,
anything, just, even... Bring it down, let us look at it. If it doesn't apply to us, we'll let you know. But also, it could be very important, and sad to think that a lot of those things get thrown away.
Yes. So please, if you're cleaning out for an estate or anything, don't discard. Check with the museum first.
And also, one change that has been really hard for some of our community members is that Ella asks for appointments. She asks everyone to make an appointment with her because she wants to be able to serve you in the best possible way. And for her to do that, she needs to have advance notice of someone coming. So people that just pop in might get turned away and told, please call and make an appointment.
Yes.
So just a heads up.
And that's easy to do. As you said, it might not be the habit, but Ella can do so much more for you by making that appointment. She can go in and pull an archive, and so that way there's not time spent that could be spent doing valuable research together.
Exactly.
Yes.
She can have those files and everything already out for you.
Yeah, so that's really an exciting prospect of researching at the Northeastern Nevada Museum. Artists use the archives for inspiration. You can make copies of things, and there are ways that Ella can suggest that can be done, obviously safely to preserve the materials. So
that's right.
What a wonderful benefit. And everything I've just been describing is free to museum members, certainly, but that access is also available to the community at large. So again, your membership helps to pay for these ongoing services. Well, now with the time that we have, I thought we could, between the two of you, or I know a tiny bit, and that's why I love history in our museum so much, because you help us keep things straight. We know more than ever how important it is to access factual material. I think we're starting to understand that, history can be manipulated, and this is our history. This is Nevada history. This is our local history, and so that's why it's important. People speak up and take ownership, right, Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nevada Day is celebrated in a couple of ways, right, Lauren? I mean, because we have an official Nevada Day state holiday, but the actual day of statehood was October 31st.
That's right, 1864, during the Civil War. So that's why one of our state nicknames is the Battle-Born State, and we're also the Silver State.
Nevada became the 36th state of the United States, and then the official holiday is the last Friday in October. This year it happens to fall on October 31st.
Which everybody, I'm sure, loves.
Yes. That makes it easy. Yes.
Yes.
Super cool. So some of the historical facts, for example, if you wanted to talk about Diet, the Battle-Born State nickname, and that is because we were at war.
We were at war, and one of the biggest reasons we became a state was more because of politics. They needed funding to continue funding the war effort, and they needed Abraham Lincoln actually needed votes too to stay in office. Mm-hmm. So Nevada, the population was actually pretty small at the time, and Nevada only provided 3 electoral votes, but those 3 votes still mattered because they were primarily a Republican area, and so bringing them into statehood just before the election really made that difference for Abraham Lincoln. And also the richness in silver and gold, and especially with the Comstock lode at the time, which was discovered in 1859, all of that rich money coming out of the state, mm-hmm. it went towards funding a great deal of the war effort and the other projects that Lincoln wanted to enact out in his service after the war was over and things like that.
Wow. Vast wealth and riches sounds like something we're familiar with in the Silver State, and obviously in sharing the benefits of that gold. And then, Lauren, it's interesting in that in order to meet the deadline before the 1864 election, the entire state constitution was transmitted in some very unique way.
Nevada's entire state constitution was sent by telegraph to Washington, D.C., which was the longest telegraph transmission ever made at that time. Interesting, right?
Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
Telegraph, that's... that's my telegraph sound. That's the best I could do.
Good job, Lori.
Thank you. So, the entire state constitution had to be sent by telegraph to Washington, D.C. to get there on time. So, beautiful explanation. Those are local historical facts that you can research on your own at our very own Northeastern Nevada Museum. And then this continued, right, Tiet? Yeah.
Sorry, I totally lost.
No, you go ahead with what you were thinking of.
I was actually just thinking, to put into some context, like a telegraph was typically short.
Yes.
The telegraph, the message that was sent at the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 was one word. They said done. That was it. It went to the east and it went to the west from Promontory Point, and it was just done. So to be able to send out an entire state constitution, that's a lot.
I bet the pressure was on whoever. I wonder if they took turns or if they just had one person drenched in sweat. I don't, and that's, again, what we love about history. We may not have actual photographs of that, but we can certainly be inspired by that and think about our unique and original place in United States history.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Nevada's, as you mentioned, Diet, our silver and gold went on to help finance the war and then to fund the Union Army, even though we didn't take sides. That's the other thing I thought was kind of interesting. Nevada didn't really pick a side because we weren't
technically. I think it was technically considered a Union state, though.
Yeah, because we're on the side of the
but really didn't send soldiers out or anything like that. Nobody was. We were a little too far west of all the fighting and everything, so they didn't.
We had cavalry, but they were basically to help us settle the West, right? Yeah. And again, we have local experts and people to talk about these issues, certainly, but it's always fun to consider, what was going on in the rest of the world. When I tell people, too, that, well, did you know Nevada, this was the Mexican territory long before it was a state. People are like, what? That's shocking to some people. And I saw that when I visited Washington, D.C. I don't know if I was in the Smithsonian, and I know Diet has made frequent trips, and maybe you have too, Lauren, but when you see those actual original maps on display, and I think the map said something like desert, where all of Nevada, because they didn't consider that there was anything out here at the point. So yeah, we had all this.
It's funny to look at maps. Like I use one in my Pony Express program that's dated for 1859, and it's funny to look at those maps. Nevada, like what is considered Elko County now, was part of Utah territory, and what's now Clark County was part of New Mexico territory. And there was Oregon and California, and they were states, but everything in between, all the way to Missouri, it was all territory. It's kind of like unorganized wilderness.
What a fascinating thought. And again, things that you can learn and contemplate, because when we know more about history, we can better guide our future. I mean, right, ladies? Yeah, that's an important consideration. It hasn't always been this way. We've affected a lot of change, and we can continue to do so, in fact. And I like this that you have described, admitting the new state during the Civil War, there was a lot of symbolism for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it showed that the Union was strong and it was expanding and confident of its victory.
Even though there weren't a lot of people in Nevada, and I like to think that a lot of the people that still live here, it's because we are independent and we like our freedom, and that we are also confident enough to let other people do their thing, right? I mean, and be part of the growth and the exploration and the history. The Union, again, at the time was expanding. As you said, this was still a wild, wild west. And we didn't see a lot of exploration until after this started to happen, too. I mean, there was a lot more that needed to happen.
Yeah. I mean, the railroad came through shortly after that.
Yeah.
And it started in 1865 and was completed in 1869. So it came through shortly after that, right across Nevada, right through Elko.
And if you can imagine being a Native American and watching all this happen around you,
my goodness, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Scary.
Scary. And there are wonderful stories that you can learn about, too, with the California Trail Interpretive Center. That's another aspect of an extension and collaboration with our museum, right, Lauren?
We sure appreciate them.
Yes.
We appreciate all of our museums in Elko.
We have Cowboy Arts and Gear.
That's right.
Yes. We have the Weekend. Well, that's a gallery, not so much, but there is still some local history or contemporary history. One of my favorite cowboy poetry gatherings was when they featured the immigrants, I think Italian, Basque Italian. There were some Basque Irish people. I mean,
oh, that one was a really good
wasn't
one.
that?
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I still think about this gorgeous trunk that was intact with some linens and things that the Italian family had passed down. Oh, that was so sweet. Yeah, wanting to take that beauty and family with them across the ocean. So that's part of our Nevada history. We still have a big future ahead of us, I guess, ladies.
That's right. And if you have a wonderful Nevada story from your family or business or whatever, and you have that written down, give us a call, because maybe it would qualify for a story in our quarterly publication.
What a great idea.
You can also always come in and record your oral history with us.
Very important.
And we will save that history as well, because your memories and experiences in this town and in our area are also important.
It's funny. I'm glad you said that. The older I get, and of course the longer I'm here, which I love being here, this is my place. My first piece of real estate I bought was the cemetery plot next to my mom.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a nice view of the rubies from there. So that's kind of a funny thought. But the more I realize how important it is that we do tell our history, because sometimes you'll see something pop up or you'll hear somebody say something and you think, oh, no, that's not exactly right. And it's okay to gently correct someone so that they understand, because if you lived a history or you know someone, I really love to honor the people that I was fortunate to know who helped to build the community. And I don't know what they would think of what's happening today, but I do know what they thought at the time. And so I can help relay that and preserve that memory and that message and just make it clear that that was the intent at the time. You know, maybe things are different now, but yeah.
I've had the high school seniors from Spring Creek High School come in, and they do an annotated bibliography using archive resources every year. If I get out an oral history for them, I always have to remind them, this is someone's memories. Our memories are colored by our perspective. So please know that anything that you read in here is someone's memories. It may not be 100% fact, but that's where you have to be an investigator and go look for those other sources to confirm what they're saying.
Yep. Nope. Really good points. And we have a lot of people, and even a lot of you listening, who remembered there were dirt roads that led up Lamoille Canyon. I traveled out to Spring Creek for the first time in a while, and I said, oh, there are 2 roundabouts now, and navigated those, and thought about how Spring Creek used to be just the 2 lanes, and just the amazing, immense growth. And when you start to feel those emotions, that's a good time to maybe write your own little note or diary, or just start kind of keeping track and telling the stories to your family.
They're
too.
so important.
They are.
And we make so many wonderful relationships with people, and we think, please do an oral history. And they say, they don't think that their story is important. It is.
It all is. And it's, even if it's not of value to you or in your mind, your children and your grandchildren will want it too.
Well, both of you ladies, thank you so much for coming in and being on the radio. Yes.
You're so good to us. We appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate you. The Northeastern Nevada Museum, as I said, it really is a treasure. It is up to us to maintain it. We have the independence. You can tell we're not affected by a federal government shutdown, and it's sad when things are impacted that way, but it just illustrates, again, the significance of us being good stewards and caretaking and propping up our museum financially and supporting it, obviously, with our words and our local history, too. So thank you, Diette.
Thank you.
Diette Mawson is our education coordinator with the Northeastern Nevada Museum. And, of course, Lauren Roovart, thank you, our museum director.
Thank you, Lori.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today here on KELK.